Good spot for kings. Guess I'm just going to c-bet pretty small. They might even call like sixes and stuff. Obviously, queen's calling. Once in a while, we'll potentially run into a 3 here from the blinds, but I guess this guy's just going to have like queen X or queen jack or like pocket 4s or something a lot. Just bet again. I mean, I could have ace-3 or 3-4, I guess, but they call pretty wide in rebuys. Rebuy periods. Less chance he has a 3 now. What's he got? Kind of weird that he's gone this far. Maybe he's got sixes. Just does not believe. Jacks. Wow. Did not think he would have a hand that good. I'm surprised he didn't 3-bet at pre. And just surprised he called down with it. Kind of a bit fishy. Yeah, just 3-bet this guy here. He's pretty annoying reg, this guy. Kind of fishy, but yeah, not the worst out there. Does have some clue of what's going on. Hence the red color, not the purple. So we busted last part. We finished off the end of the last part. We were really short in the bounty 162. Jammed ace-7 off from cutoff. Got a couple of callers. Lost to 10 jack. And I think there was a 1650 turbo as well that I busted. So I shuffled the tables around a little bit. Jack 9 suited. We had a guy dominated in this, and we lost another hand where we had a guy dominated, which is why we're so short, and now I don't think we can fold. 9 maybe? Drawing kind of thin there, but we only had M2, so not much to do. I guess I just call this little jam with sixes and see what happens. I think I'm going to check raise 3-9 here, actually. Just so many bad cards that can come on the turn. Any 8, jack, queen, king, ace is just going to likely increase his equity significantly and put us in tough spots. So decided to just check raise it. We were against UTG, so there was some chance that we'll bump into a hand for it. But I don't mind playing it that way. So he checks, got an up and down. I guess I'm just going to bet it. Hope that he's just capping his range and not getting tricky on us. Even if he is getting tricky, I mean, we have 8 outs. It's a little bit scary that he might have diamonds sometimes, but I think I'm just going to shove it. He does just fold, so he was trying to get a bit tricky. I mean, once in a while he might have like ace-x of diamonds and played that way, which obviously reduces our outs. We did have 1 diamond though, so it's a little bit of an unorthodox line for the normal player. Like, it's a play that I'll do a lot, check raise those boards, but with a strong and weak range. But I don't normally see these guys do it with strong hands very often. It's normally just like it was then. It's just like a sort of simple thought process. Like, oh, you don't have anything, I'm raising. That's about it, you know. That's about as much thought that goes into it. And then, oh, you do have something you jammed. Oh, okay, I'll fold. I've only got ace high. Or something like that. It's more of an emotional play, I think, than anything. Oh, you're just betting because I checked. You don't have anything. You're the big blind. I'm raising. Which against other fish, you know, is probably not the worst play ever. It's low. It's up there, but it's not the worst ever. Because some fish will just go, oh, he's checked. I'll just bet. Try and win. Just have really unbalanced ranges. And just continue very poorly on from that point. If they do get raised. Just fold for it, I guess. It's just it's one of those tough sessions so far, isn't it? Things just not quite. We did win a couple of flips, but then we did get punished a couple of times in key spots where we had opponents dominated. But we fight on. We battle on. I think I will ISO the King 9 here. Pretty close to 3-betting this guy. I don't know. 28.35. Wow, he limps there. I think I might just jam it. He could be trapping once in a while, but a lot of the time he's going to fold, or we're going to have good equity against him when he calls. Min off M7-ish, small blind fold to big blind jam. But this is an M6, and he's a little bit earlier. I think I will fold there, but it's pretty close. It looked a little bit strong to me. His raise off of the short stack. I guess I will, well, I guess I'll check the 10s. It's not really a 3-street value hand. Well, I mean, if he's got like 7s, he might not be folding, but I think I'm going to check. It's sort of pot control. Oh, wow, that's pretty close. I don't think he's got spades that much. But it's a bad card. I feel like he's got 7s, but I'll just check 5s or something. Oh, he's got Jack 6. Okay. I did not have him on Jack 6. Ace 10 there, really close. I think jamming it's probably okay. Part of the reason why I folded is because we just saw the guy limp. So if he has a limping range, he's probably limping a lot of his medium strength hands, which makes me think that his jams are going to be stronger. If we hadn't have seen him limp a moment ago, I probably would have just jam ISO'd, to be honest. But the fact that he's probably a fish makes me think that he might not jam the correct ranges, which means he's probably jamming a little bit too tight. And then the fact that he does have a limping range as well makes me think that he just limp folded, so he's probably limps his weaker hands and just jams his stronger ones. So by adjusting his range, I decided to come up with ace 10 against the M4 jam there would be perhaps best to fold, but I think it's very close. Well, it's pretty close one with King Queen here. He's only M5, so guess we have to call. We can't quite fold. We've got King Queen off. And his range is probably something like that. Oh, we can fold now. I think we were just getting the right price. If we had folded. King Queen and pocket twos are a little bit deceptive in that spot. I'm really hoping that the UTG raise looks strong, because there are a few stacks out there that can jam. This guy, this guy, this guy, Maybe even this guy. Just trying to look strong from UTG. If this guy jams, again, it'll be really ugly. I think we'd have something like that. We'd have like around 35% equity, I think. But we'd be getting good price because he's short and we opened. So I probably, well, it would have been pretty close again. I may actually have folded it. Wow, this is bet. We call, he shoves, he calls. This is a pretty weird spot. Normally it would be an easy fold, but it's normally. But it is a $12 tournament. So these guys are like massive fish. I wish I knew if they were good or not. If they're regs, it's just such an easy fold. I mean, they're going to be crushed. What's the blinds? 25.50, and we would open pre, and then where's the button? I can't even see those. So it's like open and call, call, call. Could have check raised that. It's pretty close. Wow, this is a really weird spot. I think I'm just going to call. Like sometimes I think they have like king jack and just like a flush draw. But I mean, you could have a set, I guess, or even two pair. But yeah, look at that. Somehow they get there, but we were in good shape. This is a nice call, I think. It's because their ranges are so fishy, you know. Jack 5 suited is in there. So the thing about the $12 tournament, you know. So this guy raised us on the flop in the hot 27. And yeah, I mean, I'm just check calling down, I think. If he's got pocket sevens or deuces or something, it's just bad luck. I have gone for the tricky check raise bottom left. He did get there. I'm like, he could have king jack here, but I'm like, we block kings. So I'm like, it's so unlikely he's got the king jack. I don't hate his play, but he's very lucky to get there when we have kings. Wow, what's he got, this guy? It's flush draw. Come on, they've all got flushes, and we've got a club as well. So don't do anything silly this time. We'll take that 20k pot. Thanks very much. Thank you for coming. Yeah, that's really annoying. His play's not the worst ever. But yeah, just, I mean, kings against king jack on a queen high board. He's drawing pretty thin, which is what I was hoping. It looked like he was just doing something pretty wild because he was repping pretty thin. He could even have had ace queen, I guess, and done that for value. But more likely, I think it's like pocket sevens where he's got a set. But I thought he also had a lot of bluffs, like the hands he had, which, I mean, just happened to get there. So it's pretty annoying. But I don't mind our line because, well, I mean, a lot of the time he's just, well, I mean, he was drawing very, very thin on every street. Even on the turn, he only had, what, 16, he only had 16%. Probably had like 8% on the flop or something. Less. Don't know. What would he have on that flop? Really not sure. Was it like kings against like king jack against king king? And the flop was like queen 8-4 or something. Yeah, he only had like 7% equity on the flop when he raised, so that's the sort of spot we wanted. But he just happened to get there. I guess this is actually really good, isn't it? Because we've been opening a lot, and now we have queens, and then we have guys behind that might jam. And we've got click it back in the big blind. Nope, no one partaking in the action. This is kind of like we just raised so many hands in a row that someone might get a little suspicious here. 1, 2, 3, 47. There's about 5. It's going to be pretty close. I think if click it back jams, I'll probably fold. But if the big blind jams, I think I'll probably call because we've raised on him last orbit on his big blind as well. And we've just raised like 4 hands in a row. And not only that, he's Russian. So just don't like folding to Russians generally. If these guys jam now, obviously once this guy calls behind, I will fold. Six, 4 to call, getting like 2.5 to 1, queen 3. Yeah. Wow. Pretty good flop. Just gonna bet it. I guess I'm going to check now. He's going to have some king, queen. He's going to have some diamonds. He's going to have more often than that, though. He's probably going to have like 7s and 8s and stuff. Maybe 10s. I don't think he's going to have like queens plus very often. So most of his range that's beating us is going to be like ace jack, jack queen and stuff like that. King jack, which he could have. And 10s. So I think if he had a bet the turn, I would have called and then decided on the river. But he actually checked back turn. I think I might check. I think it's really close. But he might bluff. If he's got queen 10 suited or king queen, he might bluff. If he's missed diamonds, he might bluff. And once in a while, he might value bet too thin. Like he might value bet 8s thinking he has the best hand. And it just protects us from being sort of raised off our hand. Hopefully he doesn't have 6s. That would be pretty gross. Wow, he did have the big pair. So we think we played that pretty nicely, actually. Kind of lost the minimum, I think. I don't mind the way he played it either. But I think... Well, yeah, actually, I kind of like his play there. I don't mind his flat pre-flop because the big blind and small blind and big blind might jam. And his hand's really well disguised. At the same time, he doesn't really want to get it in against us with queens there. Although... I mean, 3-betting is obviously never bad. We've been opening tons, so it's definitely fine to 3-bet. It's definitely more standard. But I think calling in that spot against UTG, the other big stack, when there's short stacks who might jam in the blinds, yeah, I think it's a not bad play. And I like the way he played it post, although I think he should be betting turn, to be honest. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's he got, like M4? I think this is a call at M4. We're ahead. We're ahead. We're ahead. We're ahead. We're still ahead. Just goes to show that you can't lose all of them. Wow, this guy just shoves. This is... This is the guy that had... This is the same guy that called with Jack 5 suited before. I don't think we can fold to a guy that does that. But it feels so gross, like he's got ace queen or ace king. But I mean, he might just have like 9s or something. I mean, he calls behind with Jack 5 suited, so I'm not going to fold jacks. Man, it's so sick. It's so sick. Black 10. Come on, man. That's so gross. The fish got us with this disgusting overjam. I wish I hadn't have seen the Jack 5 hand because it would have been an easy fold. But the Jack 5 hand. The Jack 5 hand just lured me into calling there. But it certainly was a large jam. But I mean, we can't fold to that guy after the way he played before with Jack 5. There's just no way we're ever folding. I mean, he called behind a raise. Early position raise with Jack 5 and then just snap shoves a king high flop with a Jack high draw. After it goes bet and call, was it? Or bet and raise? I can't remember. We're just like, no chance we're going to fold jacks there. So I did open the 6-9 suited there, top middle. I'm getting a little bit abusive now, opening really wide. These guys have been pretty tight. And I would have just, even though this guy's only M3.5, you know, it's a little bit risky, but he's been pretty tight. I haven't seen him do much. So, yeah. Went for it. It's one of those things where he might not jam too wide because he's like, well, I don't have any fold equity. So he might be a little bit more reluctant. Whereas when he's got M5, if he's got like, you know, King Jack, if he's got like King 10 suited and M5, like he might be more like, well, you know, I might raise here because Acesup raising a lot. I mean, he might jam because Acesup raising a lot and I've got fold equity and this hand's got decent equity. But if he's got that hand at that stack depth, it's almost like, well, King 10 suited, yes, but I've probably got no fold equity because Acesup is raised and I've only got M3.5. So it's pretty much, he's just thinking purely more about equity when in reality, we're actually planning to raise fold to a fairly short effective stack. Which I don't make a habit of doing, but I think in this instance, it's not too bad. Everyone's been folding. Oh, don't do it. Not again. I can't take any more. I can't take it anymore. I just can't take it anymore. We keep having them dominated and they keep winning. Although we did just flop the nut straight, which makes me happy again. And it's a pretty heavy board, and there's a flush draw, so I think I'm just going to play this one pretty fast because we're pretty deep. Just want to try and get a lot of beans in. Bean lover. Come on, beans. Shove your ace queen, sir. Shove it. We could have king queen. We could have clubs. We could have the nuts. Looks like he's got a bit of a decision here. He folded. That's annoying. Tanked and folded. I wonder if it was any hero folding going on there. Like he has ace 5. Not that that's really a hero fold, but for these guys it is. Ace 5 on that board after facing a check raise for these guys is a crazy hero. That's like the sort of hand they dream about flopping as top pair. It's the sort of hand they call their friends about. Their Facebook lights up when they flop top pair. They start messaging people, hey, I just flopped top pair. Yeah, I know. Can you believe it? It's like, I thought I was running bad and then I just flopped top pair and now I'm just like, oh wait, the guy's got a straight. Damn, I only had a pair. I actually lost that hand. The DayWalkers. That's why I changed the name of this session to the DayWalkers. I had to. Changed it to the DayWalkers. DayWalker series. Plan to be streaming a lot coming up, guys. Most days. Probably not tomorrow. It's my daughter's birthday. Day off. But I will be hitting it hard on the following day, which is Sunday for me, but probably Saturday night for a lot of people. That's going to be a big session. And then Monday, of course, which is Sunday night for most people, my Monday. Big session. So some big sessions coming up. And hopefully a good final table coming up here. Oh, we're 2 of 13? Oh, it's a bubble. Wow, okay. That's why everyone's so tight. Wake up, Acesup. Everyone's so tight because it's the bubble. I wasn't even paying attention to the bubble. I just thought it was just like close to final table. I'm like, why is everyone playing so tight? I guess I'm just going to raise this. Well, actually I won't. It's pretty close. That's why that Puttis guy wasn't jamming. I'm like, this guy's a reg, and we've been opening tons, and he's still not jamming us. Like, it seems a little bit odd, but that's why, because it's bubble, so he's doing the right thing. Kind of a big jam there, but it's 40. I might flat here actually. Bit here. 7-9. Do we want to open that in the bubble? Yeah, I think we do actually. I think I just get. Yeah, what the hell? I just get this guy in. Yeah, 7. 7. Damn. Had all the equity in the world. I thought he might have a straight draw sometimes too, as well as like a 7 or a small pair. Didn't really look like a 10 when he raises that flop, because like, would he really raise a 10 on 10-10-7? You know, when he's short, like it looked like he was just trying to pretend he had a monster. You know, by just raising and looking committed and just doing it that way. Kind of a big 3-bet to call here with ace-3 suited bottom right, but it is, I mean, really, we're very deep, so I think it's okay. But definitely borderline. We're gonna fold there, I think, yeah. I'm gonna call one here and look for a 5-ball or a club. Doesn't come, or an ace. 2840. I think I might just jam this guy here. Good card for him to barrel on there. Getting close to the money in that deep stack $16.50, just here in the middle here as well. Yes, I will fold. We are in the money now. 2 of 12 in this $11 rebuy. 600 up top, of course, and it's game on. A few Brazilians in, a few Canadians. Yep, expect it to be pretty wild. Final table. Apologies to the Canadians out there. I'd say apologies to the Brazilians as well, but I don't think any Brazilians actually study any strategy. As far as I know, they just... Closest thing I think the Brazilians get to studying poker strategy is when they hit the casino and play roulette. It's from what I've seen. It's debatable if you'd call that strategy. I call it gambling. Crazy. Crazy stuff. I think I probably will call here with a Jack-5 suited. Just don't think this guy's going to re-raise very often, and we do cover this short stack. We're getting pretty good pot odds with a suited hand. I wouldn't have actually even minded just raising it, but calling is okay. Definitely on the marginal side, but not too bad. So he had ace-5 suited, that guy, and he got there. I think if we squeeze there, I think he actually calls with ace-5 suited, so probably, you know. Seems like the sort of guy that doesn't really do folding. Come on, ace-queen. 5, 6, 7, this guy's gonna jam. Come on, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this guy's gonna... Nope, nobody's gonna jam. I thought somebody's gonna jam. I think I will bet this hand. If we check raises, we're probably done with the hand. The reason why I bet it is just because we've got pretty good backdoors, like a Jack, King, Ace, Queen, or Club is good. The other reason is like there's lots of bad turn cards that we can't call on, you know. So it's almost like it feels dirty giving up with Ace Queen on this board. Like I don't feel this should be a give up, but at the same time, if we do check and the turn is you know, anything but a ace, queen, or club or jack, we're going to be giving up. Like the turns of repeat any bets, we're probably folding. If the turn is like a 5 of hearts, we're probably folding. If the turn is a 7 any bets, we're probably folding. So there's just all these cards where we're just forced to give up and just in tricky spots. But by betting the flop, sometimes he just folds, which is a good result. And if he does call, it's very unlikely he's then going to lead turn. So we then have the option, if we get a good card to barrel, or if we get a bad card, we can always just check back and try and realize our equity and get to showdown. Or maybe pick up equity on the river and then call a bet if he happens to bet. So I think betting flop there is probably a good line with that hand. Yeah. I think perhaps a better check back, if we were going to check back, might be a hand like... I guess we just bet that as well. But I'm just thinking like King Jack with clubs might be a better check back. A hand like that where it's pretty ugly if he check raises us. But at the same time, like there's just so many good turn cards for King Jack. Any King Jack, Queen, 8, 7, club, even an ace we can rep. I will call here deep with the Queen 2 suited. Pretty bad flop. He checks. He's kind of... yeah, he's a little bit sneaky, I think, this guy. I'm just going to check and try and pick up some equity. I think if it comes a diamond on the river, like I'm just going to think for a while this street. And then if it does come diamond, we'll make a small stab and just hope that he's given up. Just bet like third pot. Which is just sort of, I'll be value betting a lot of diamonds at that sizing. But I'll probably be a little bit unbalanced towards bluffs. But hopefully he's not going to be calling too wide. I don't think he has a lot of calling hands when he plays it this way. If it had been the 4 of diamonds and he checked again and we bet small, he's definitely not going to call with that hand. And we are final table. Jay lost. That's a blast from the past. Jay lost. This guy used to play ages ago. And... just going to fold there. How do we want to play 8-10 suited? I guess I will just call with the 8-10 suited. Yeah, I will just call with it. He's potted. It's probably a little bit soon to fold with a pair like this. But it's definitely a pretty motley board. I mean, we don't have many backdoors, so I wouldn't hate a fold. There's a lot of bad turn cards. But I do think that enough of the time in this spot, like he's just potted with some fish hand, like, ace-jack that limped, and then just bets flop to win, and then just gives up. So I think calling is not too bad. But he's better get on the ace, so I'm just going to fold. He could have bluffed once in a while there, I guess, but it feels pretty unlikely once he bets again on the ace. It's just such a bad card, obviously. Check. I think I'm just going to call here over this guy's 3 bets. Wow, it's a weird pot with King Jack suited. I think I'll fire again now once this guy checks again. Try and fold out some king highs. Yeah, I mean... wow, this guy makes this large 3 bet. I guess we have to fold. This guy... 3 betting on the button. I don't mind a jam against him. But it just... I don't know why. It just didn't... He's Russian. We probably should have just jammed pre. Certainly nothing wrong with jamming. I might actually try and isolate this guy with King Jack. Like... don't know how often this works, but like, I think if we can get him heads up, it's a pretty good result because we may actually sometimes have the best hand. And even if we don't, like, we're getting really good equity in the pot. Like if he happens to have, wow, okay, ooh, wow, that's an interesting card. This is going to get really ugly now, isn't it? He's going to have a lot of ace-x, I guess. But he might be playing pairs, small pairs and stuff really weirdly. Yeah, unfortunately, I think he's going to have like some ace-10 and stuff. There's ace-queen, ace-king, there's just check called with. But I guess you can also have like sixes and stuff as well and play it this way. Just trying to think how much equity. There's a pretty big side pot and we still have equity on the main pot. I think I will bet again here. This is getting a bit risky now because I do think he has a lot of ace-x, but I mean, yeah, I'll try it. Maybe it's a check. Okay, we got him to fold. So we got the side pot was 1500, but, and we had, I mean, well, we had decent equity on the side as well. It's not too bad a result. I mean, obviously, he's got king, queen there. I think he could have like 10 jack and jack queen and all stuff like that. So I don't mind our play. I think it's okay. It's a little bit ambitious expecting to win the side. I mean, the main pot against that short stack all in, but I'm just going to jam the flush draw here, obviously. Not much point in check calling, I don't think. I mean, once in a while, nobody has an ace, you know, and they all fold. They might even fold, like, if this guy's called behind with like 8-9 suited, like, he might even just fold to like a almost pot size flop jam. Just think that we have an ace. It's unlikely, but who knows with these guys? Who knows what they're capable of? So I'm going to raise ace king. And I think I will bet again for value here. I think this guy's got a lot of like ace jack and stuff. Might just have a club. Wow, I did not. I did not put him on 5-7. Oh man. What the? Come on. A6, 7, 29. I think we can actually raise this, to be honest. It's a little bit cheeky, a little bit disorderly. Might get a ticket here for disorderly behavior with this A6 off, but I mean, it just looks pretty strong. These guys haven't been too crazy. We get good leverage against the big blind. It's a little bit awkward for players to 3-bet us. It's a little bit awkward to attack a big stack UTG when you've got a small blind, a big blind that's short, you know. There's a lot of sort of, there's a lot to sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? De-incentivize, maybe? I don't know. Demotivate? There's a lot to demotivate you from going after us in that spot for these guys, you know. 3, 6, 7, 1 is 8. I think I just jammed this. Yeah. I mean, the fact that, well, okay, we're UTG, we could have a hand. The fact that if the big blind jams, they're pretty much committed anyone who 3-bets. Yeah, so 14, 21. We probably should be jamming pretty wide against this guy and asserting pressure, but at the same time, I'm just going to fold 7-4. So this crazy guy before that had 5-7 and just called on a gut shot and could have been drawing completely dead and somehow hit a miracle. Hit the only card in the deck that is ever going to net him any value. Bets on the turn suddenly, I think after the flop was checked. So unless he's getting like really tricky or happens to have a 3, I think this guy's kind of just like too bad for us to fold here. He's just being a massive fish with a 10, which is not at all surprising. He's just a DayWalker. It's a DayWalker special. Is he value betting? Is he bluffing? Not even he knows. How are we supposed to know when he doesn't know? It's just like, just betting. Just betting. I'll have a bet. Oh, this is pretty nasty. I think I'm going to raise, and then if this guy jams, just call off, which is pretty gross. But he's only M3, and we do have 9-10 suited. I mean, it's just a bit annoying because it just puts a little dent in our stack if we lose. But we just have to call because we're getting like 2.5 to 1 almost. So we could literally probably call with like 2-3. But at the same time, I mean, I don't just want to fold it. You know? Come on, baby. 3. All right. And it's just good to knock out the pro as well. Good to knock him out. Wow. I really wanted to play against this guy again. Evil Stepsis. I guess we have to fold the 5s now, but I really wanted to be in there because they've shown a tendency to be potentially the worst player that's ever started playing online. And they get there. They are running good. They are definitely running good. Break time, peeps. So looking okay here. We're 3, are we? 3 of 6 on the $11 rebuy final table. We're all in here in the big $7.50 with ace 8. I think I will call with the king queen here. This will be the last hand for the level because we're against evil stepsis again. So if we flop a pair, it's just like going to the here we are at the ATM. Withdraw cash $4,964. I'll take cash, please. I guess I'm just going to call here. Hopefully we don't see... well, I think we're going to see a worse queen, like queen 10, and I think we're going to see diamonds a lot. Once in a while we'll see ace queen, I guess, but that's just bad luck. Stepsis, you want to call off with pocket 4s? Pocket 4s could be good. You might hit a 4, you never know. Have a little gamble. Come on. Nope. Oh my god, he's trapped. And we're going to get a queen. Oh my god, it's so sick. He's just trapped. Okay, guys, break time. Be right back.